The world of esports may be a mystery or something very common to you. On this, the Juhadre podcast in association with Rated R Esports, we're going to talk a lot about it. So without further ado, let's jump right into our episode. It is a beautiful Friday afternoon and a wonderful opportunity to come to you once again with this, the fourth episode of Juhadre. I am Juhadre, and with me once again, my wonderful co-host Alvatross.
Welcome.
Yes, welcome. So, we had a wonderful episode last week when we got to talk with Eureka Fresh and have, our first guest on the show and everything. But when you and I were talking during the week, we decided that we wanted to go back to just the two of us to kind of calm it back down, get back into the swing of things and such. And so
to get us started, I want to apologize ahead of time. Somehow I caught a head cold somewhere, so I apologize ahead of time if I sound a little funny or end up sniffling a little bit.
And more than that, you're kind of delirious because we just finished a whole day at work too.
If anybody that doesn't know, Juhadre and I work at the same place. That won't be disclosed, but he's been laughing at me all day. Yeah. I've already fallen down twice. I missed a curb. I got dizzy and fell down, and it's been a very entertaining day.
I certainly agree.
I'm so delirious.
And so let's continue the day and make it a little more entertaining. Introducing today's subject, I wanted to talk about when esports should be taken seriously.
Now, last time we talked about esports, just for our listeners, if anybody's new, what does the E in esports stand for?
Electronic.
Exactly. So it's not entertaining sports, it's electronic sports. Personally, it should be EE sports.
Right, and that's what we talked about with Eureka Fresh, about e-entertainment, electronic entertainment, when we were talking streamers and such. And so today we want to focus more on the sporting aspect of it. And so a couple of things to talk about include, at what age are you maybe possibly looking at becoming an athlete? When should you start dedicating your time? At what point do you think that it's a possible future? What is what is an actual future?
What's the fine line between I am just a gamer at home versus I am now a pro gamer / pro streamer?
Right, exactly. And how do you get to that point, right? Because you need to be in the amateur scene before you can be a pro.
That's very true. You can't just start out being a pro.
No.
You got to figure it out. So you manage a team.
That I do.
So at what point do you find somebody and say, would you like to join a pro team?
It's interesting because we kind of post in a broader sense saying we have a team and we're looking for a player. And then someone will respond to that and say, I want to play for you. And then we look over, we watch them play a little bit, compare it to other players that we've had, and look at what they'll do for the team. And the typical answer comes from 19 to 23 years old.
Oh, you had a 17-year-old. 16-year-old one.
Yeah, one of our players is currently a junior in high school.
I still think that was so funny. Could you imagine being a pro gamer and your mom says you're grounded?
No, honestly, I don't think I could. But see, that's what we wanted to talk about. Is 16 too early? Is 21 too late? When should you start looking into that? When should you think that you're too old, or are you still too young? Those type of things.
In my opinion, because we talked about consistency, thinking a couple years ahead.
Exactly.
Because you got to figure out where you want to be, point yourself in that direction, and go. So you got to think a couple years ahead. So I would say if you're like high school, you're getting ready to move on to the next stage. Like, am I going to go to college? Am I going to move out? Am I going to get married? Am I going to start my career? What are you going to do? So I would say, you might be in high school, you might be 16, 17 years old, still be able to get grounded.
Yeah.
But, it's not a bad place to start looking. A lot of kids these days start playing games. I started it, but my mom, she said I started about 2.5 years old. Yeah. I don't remember starting at that age, but I remember the game. But yeah, I would say starting there, but due to restrictions, 18, you could be in a pro league.
Yeah, for sure.
Oh, yeah. So like when you look at League of Legends championships, those guys are in their young 20s.
And sometimes it's even younger than that. Bjergsen, the mid laner for TSM, moved out. He dropped out of high school at 17 to play professionally for the Copenhagen Wolves over in Europe, in Denmark, and then moved at 18 over to the United States to play mid lane for TSM. Like that. Think about that. He didn't just move out or just pick a job. He moved across the Atlantic Ocean and across the entire continental U.S. to get to Los Angeles.
Yeah, that's crazy.
It's huge.
Just to be that. So just as a pause, quick, for my listeners, we are recording tonight in my apartment again, and because we don't have an office just yet, we need some sponsors. If anybody knows of anybody. But they are currently doing maintenance in the apartment below me because the guy moved out. I've been trying to get that guy's attention for forever. Turns out he was moving out.
Oh, well, that's why you didn't get his attention. So if you
hear any hammering or any noises, weird noises, they're doing maintenance downstairs, so I apologize. But anyways, continue.
Well,
Juhadre.
actually, just to add on top of that, the reason we're doing it in here is because it sounds a lot better. Like the sound quality, if you go back and listen to episode 2 titled Consistency and then episode 3 Eureka Fresh, there is a distinct difference in the sound quality, lack of echo thereof, and this episode as well. We just did a quick little test, and it sounds much better in here. So I think it's worth a couple of extra little bonks.
We're looking at stuff. But anyways, going back to when should esports be taken seriously? So there was a big conversation I've had with my own dad once.
Okay.
So my dad looked at me because he's a big football fan back in the day.
Mm-hmm.
Kind of lost it because he went through a midlife crisis and now thinks he needs to do other important stuff. Oh, well, Dad, do what you want. Love you, Dad.
Right.
But he looks at me and goes, I can't believe they have poker on ESPN. So at what point...
Interesting.
Now, I don't watch any ESPN. I don't have cable. I stream everything. Netflix. I've got my own server, everything. But are esports on ESPN now?
Yes. In fact, the Overwatch World Championship, I believe, was on ESPN proper the last several years.
Okay. So look at there. It is now, in that sense, does that make it officially a sport, esport?
Honestly, I think it has been for longer than that. Because if you think about it, League of Legends is on season 9 right now. And Dota 2 has gone on before that. And that's a much bigger sport, actually. If you're comparing prize pools, Dota is probably the biggest esport in the world. To my knowledge, I haven't researched a whole lot.
Really? It's bigger than League of Legends right now.
By a lot.
That's crazy.
To perspective here, the first 5 League of Legends World Championships combined prize pools was less than a single Dota 1 international prize pool.
Do you happen to have that number?
I don't.
Oh, dang it.
This was 4 years ago when I looked that up. When season 5 was wrapping
up. If Dota's more than those put together, you went to the League of Legends Championship in Belgium in 2015. What was the prize pool there?
Hold on. Did I do that math right? Yeah, 2015. I don't remember the numbers.
Dang it.
No, but you're right. My wife and I did travel. We flew all the way to Belgium from the western side of the U.S. just to watch 20 kids play League of Legends on a stage.
You know what? I gotta go. I just gotta be honest. Watching when you first invited me over to watch that game, I was like, I don't want to watch somebody play video games. I want to play video games. But watching that was so entertaining. That was actually just as entertaining as watching. I mean, it's replacing game shows on television now.
Right.
It really is. Now, I don't watch a game show. I'll watch a video game, but it's getting interesting. So I would say esports, when should they be taken seriously? I say now.
Exactly.
Let's look at this. You've got kids that are playing League of Legends, Overwatch, Dota, StarCraft. Oh, yes, StarCraft. Minecraft, Fortnite. You've got all these games. I know there's Rocket League.
Yeah. Oh, there's huge.
That's huge. And that's a small game. It's not that complicated. Cars, soccer ball.
It's beautiful.
But all these, you can make a living off this now.
Yes,
and
you can.
If you're good at video games and you like playing video games, I grew up with the generation that was, don't play video games. They're just going to rot your brain. You're never going to get anywhere. Look at where we are now.
Exactly. And so that's where I want to continue this question. When should it be taken seriously? Because it's not esports as a thing, because it's a thing. It has been for many years, and it will continue to be because it is growing. But I mean, when should a person consider esports as a viable option to put in the time, to put in the practice, to put in the money for the equipment and stuff. Now, like you said, I agree right now. And here's why. I don't remember with whom I was speaking or where we were, but I heard there is a gal somewhere in the US who at 15 already has a multi-million-dollar contract with Nike for playing soccer. Now,
really?
Yes. Now, listen. If we can have multi-million-dollar contracts for playing soccer at 15, why is it so weird when a kid in college gets $1,000 scholarship to play a computer game? Do you see the double standard there?
The only difference is one's a physical sport, the other one you're just sitting down. But
exactly.
Hey, if you can make a living off of it and it's not negatively hurting somebody,
yeah,
go for it.
Yeah, and that's what I really wanted to talk about. If you are 16 and you're good, go for it. What's actually stopping you at that point?
So there's a guy, I don't remember his name. His first name's Gary, and he talks about something like that.
Okay.
And I apologize for any listeners out there that know who I'm talking about. It's Gary V. His last name starts with a V, but he said something once, and I'm not going to quote him exact. But he said, if you're good at something, continue doing it.
Mm-hmm.
Find what you're good at and do it.
Yeah, exactly.
If you're good at video games, do it. If you can make a living, do it. Like, I can't believe how many of these people, always say, you need to go work at a restaurant. You need to go to a call center. Go to the place that pays the most. No, you know what? You got to start somewhere. Mm-hmm. And if video games are where it's at, go for it. But the thing is, you got to put in the work. Going back to consistency, you have to put in the work.
Right.
That's how it is these days. This whole day and age isn't just going to hand it to you. You got to find it. Just like Juhadre said, he posts out there saying, hey, we've got an open position. I've seen plenty of others do that. Rated R right now is trying to make more leagues. So anybody out there that's listening, you don't just have to be from Utah.
No.
You just have to be good at video games to where you can prove it.
Exactly.
So Rated R, the owner, Torchy, he posted up, clips don't show that you're a good video gamer.
Yeah, I remember that.
Anybody can have a good moment.
Yes.
I have good moments. I have bad moments. It's the same thing as Eureka Fresh. He said, I'm not a good gamer, so I'm just entertaining. But you know what? He's good enough to make it through there. But you got to actually be consistently showing that you're good, not just go, hey, yeah, look at what I just did here. Cool. Well, let me see what you did after that.
Right. And so that leads us into that second question. At what point should you start putting in the dedication to practicing that? At what point do you decide, I am good enough to dedicate the time? Because when I have a neighbor, a good friend of mine, and he put his son in soccer.
Mm-hmm.
This little boy just turned 4, and he had a natural knack for soccer. He understood dribbling. He could kick the ball. He would follow the instructions, and that was really good. So
just natural.
Exactly. And the normal reaction to that is, then he'll want to play next summer. He'll want to play in middle school. He'll want to play in high school. You've got yourself a way into college. So it's the same thing. If you at 14, using League of Legends as an example again, because that's my game, if you're Diamond 3 at 14, that's probably a good way to start.
Now, not necessarily saying you're going to make it, but what he's saying is that's a start.
Exactly. That's the point where you should start taking it seriously. Because remember, the top, I believe 90% of League of Legends players are gold and below. 90%. So if you are platinum, diamond, master, grandmaster, or challenger, you're in the 10%. That's 1 out of 10 players are up in that echelon.
And that's worldwide, right?
Worldwide.
That's amazing. Do you know how many people play League of Legends?
Yes.
I've seen the number at one point.
Yeah. It's a huge number.
Yeah. So that's ridiculous. Wow. I apologize. They're being so loud. I can feel what they're doing, but there's nothing I can do about it.
No. and like you wanted to put the microphone on a stand, but I don't know that
this microphone is so sensitive.
Yeah.
Anyways,
really but so that's what I'm saying is, if you're young and you're high ranked in a game, and I know that Counter-Strike and StarCraft and Overwatch and League all have a relatively similar system where you have your medals. You have bronze, silver, gold.
Yeah, you have your different classes.
Yeah, exactly. And diamond is a typical upper echelon rank. And so if you're, in your teens at this diamond level, that's the time to start. If you're interested, of course. I'm not saying that that's the only way to go. You can just be good at games and decide you want to be a doctor. I know now.
Well, that's another thing that we should bring up is, we're saying go for it. If you're good at video games, go for it. But always have a backup plan.
Exactly. In fact, there is a player I cast for quite a few groups. And in one of those groups, there was a player in Challenger. Now, remember, top 10% is platinum and above. Do you know the percentage in Challenger?
It's got to be lower than that, because if you're saying 10% is from gold and up, Challenger, so what is it, gold, Challenger?
No. It would be gold, platinum, diamond, master, grandmaster, Challenger.
I'm going to say 2%.
It's probably less. There are 200 players allowed in Challenger rank.
Dude, that's ridiculous.
Per region.
If I'm thinking everything, so we live in the United States. There are, let's just use a billion. There's a billion. 2% of that. I'm sorry, not 2% of that. 200 out of that 1 billion people. That's ridiculous.
Yeah.
You have to be alive. You have to be that good.
There are 200 North American players in Challenger. And now let's put that in perspective. We have 10 North American LCS teams with 5 players each, and they each have a what's called an academy roster. Okay? So that's 5 times 10 is 50 times 2 is 100. Okay? Yeah. Those are the professionals. They're obviously somewhere in those top 200, right? Mm-hmm. Some of them have multiple accounts. They've made it into Challenger. And then you have professional streamers, you can see several of them on YouTube and on Twitch and such. So now, if you're just some kid going to college and you make it into that, think about where you are as a gamer if you make it into that rank. Mm-hmm. It's beyond impressive. And I actually spoke with this guy and I was like, hey, man, we're trying to put a team together and we're trying to go places. Do you want to be on it? And he told me, you know what? I've tried that for the last 2 years and it hasn't gone very far. And I'm close to graduating as a surgeon. And I was like, well, number one, where the heck did you find time to get so good at both of those things?
I was just thinking that because I see what a typical gamer's life is. And I'm like, you're having to put in 8 hours plus playtime.
Yeah.
A daily. You've got to, you've obviously got to be in close communication with your team. Mm-hmm. And most of the teams that are in championships, like pro leagues, they live with each other.
Yes.
They have homes with each other. We're talking no girlfriend. We're talking no pets. Mm-hmm. You're limiting outside time because you're constantly playing. You're constantly upgrading your PC or your console. If you're console, yes. We're not being prejudiced here. I actually have an Xbox One.
What? Good. Get back to your point.
But the dedication there, which is why the question, going back to the original question, when should it be taken seriously? That's a scary question because it's like, am I really going to dedicate everything I'm going to do? I'm just going to stop and drop everything but gaming and limit everything I do to gaming because you got to practice consistently. Mm-hmm. I'm going back to episode 2, consistency.
Right.
That is one of the biggest things. Girlfriend's not going to let you sit there and play video games. I'm married. She looks at me when I want a game. Is really? You married me? You want to play video games?
Oh my gosh,
she doesn't really say that. She jumps on with me.
Yes.
But the money that's required for there, because obviously, if you're trying to get there and you're trying to put in the time, to actually say, I've got to keep my stats up because somebody's going to come behind you and they're there. Yeah, there are so many people around the world, so many people in your neighborhood, your city, your state, your country, wherever you're at. You got to stay on top of it. So you got to get a job. Well, if you want to be a professional gamer, you might want to find a gaming girlfriend.
I love it. Yes. Sorry to interrupt.
This is my gaming girlfriend, preferably one in cosplay because that's just awesome.
Obvious.
Obviously. But think about that. There's so many factors that come into gaming, esports. You look at a football player, what do? They're constantly moving from state to state. They're constantly going from game to game. Just professional gamers, to put it out there for anybody that hasn't done their research yet, you're not just going to play at home.
No.
You're going to practice with everybody in the same room as your manager, captain is going to be right behind you telling you through the microphone, "Hey, let's do this. Let's get going." You got to look at every perspective. That's not even all the perspectives.
Speaking of perspectives, now we've talked about if you're already at a high skill level. What if you're not at a high skill level? What if you're average? What if you're just above average? At what point do you start taking esports as a future seriously?
That's another good question, because just because you're average doesn't mean you can't be a good gamer.
Exactly.
Because they need maybe the person that's better than you, that let's say they get on a team, needs you as support.
Yeah.
You find it's what we went back to. You find the position you're good at and you do it.
Yes.
Don't go around trying to do everything, but that's how you're going to do it. Figure out what you're good at. You might be average, but just because you were average doesn't mean you can't be selected. Put yourself out there.
Right.
Get out there. Try it.
So, whose turn?
Go ahead.
Okay. So, League of Legends, North American LCS, the League Championship Series, has a caster. Okay. Remember, this is the top North American league. They have a caster who is not even platinum level. Think about that for just a second here. He is about my level in game mechanics and playing the game. He's below that average, in that 90%.
Yeah.
Think about that for a second.
But he got himself in the world.
Exactly.
So people know who he is.
Yeah. Rivington Bislin III. Sorry to call you out there, buddy.
So what you're saying, to reiterate what you're saying, is just playing the game is not where you're going to be at to get your name out there.
No.
Because obviously you said, I play games, I'm average, but I got in casting. But now look at where I'm at. I got a position in esports. I'm not playing, but you are a manager.
I am. I manage a team, and he casts the one of the number one esport. Well, I guess that's a silly thing that doesn't really work. One of the top esports in the world. In North America, he does the world championships. He does all of the international events and things. He's there, and he isn't the best player, but
he found his way in.
Exactly. And even if you want to be an athlete and you're still at average level, you can practice and get that good.
That's a good thought, because if you get yourself out of the house and you're working with other gamers, pay attention to what they do.
Yes.
If you listen to a lot of those casters, there's some moves that they pull that I'm like, I didn't even know that was possible.
Yeah.
I didn't even know that you could do that. And so learning from watching others, by getting out there, go to a tournament, go meet other players, because you know what? There are those players. You said you've got two players right now that do good together.
Yes.
They don't like playing without each other because they what's the word I'm looking for?
They play cohesively?
That'll work. They play cohesively with each other. They're better together than they are separate.
Yes.
Yeah. There's a special word for it. Dang it. It's on the tip of my tongue.
Synergize.
Whatever. We'll go with it.
Is that not what it is?
I don't know.
Oh.
I think it starts with a C. But anyways, they're better together. And so maybe you just haven't found the player that helps better you up.
Yeah.
Because I've been that way when I used to play Overwatch, and my friend Big Steve wasn't trying to troll me the whole game.
We love you, Big Steve.
I don't.
Oh, whatever.
I'm just kidding.
Yeah, you do.
Anyways, but I had my person that would come in behind me and defend me to protect me, and we would just piggyback off of each other, and we made a great team. Now, yes, we had our other players that jumped in, but sometimes you just need to find that other person. So It's not even just, am I going to be a gamer myself, but maybe I got to find my team.
Exactly. And then on top of that, here's the other thing. You don't need to be a top level player to join a team. There are teams out there. Now, listen, because I'm the manager of this team, I have to go and find scrims. I have to find leagues. I have to find all these different places and people that we can fight. And fight's not the right word. Play against for practice and such. And all the time I see Gold level team looking for top laner. Silver level team looking for mid laner. Hey guys, I'm bronze 4, but I want to get on a team. And they get picked up because it's about playing the game at in a competitive mindset that builds it. And the more you do that, the better you're going to become. So let's say you get into a gold league and you start winning, you start dominating, then you yourself, you break the boundaries of a gold league. You become platinum. Then you do the exact same thing. You play in this platinum league and you start winning and you get better and better. And then suddenly you break those boundaries and you become diamond. That's what you need to start doing.
So it brings up a good thought in my head.
Okay.
At least I hope it's a good thought. So let's say I'm guessing it goes silver, gold, diamond, right?
Gold, platinum, diamond.
Gold, platinum, diamond. Okay. So let's say you're a silver, but the reason why you can't make gold is because the people you're playing with are holding you back. Is that actually a thing?
Oh, yes.
Okay. So let's attack that right there. That goes back to what I was saying. Play with multiple people.
Yes.
Because the different tactics people have, the different strategies people do, it might change up how your stats look. That's why we're saying go to tournaments. There are city tournaments. There are high school tournaments now.
Oh, yeah.
There are so many ways to go play that. If you just jump on Facebook, Discord, Twitch, look something up, follow a streamer. If you listen to anybody that plays games and they actually show their game up there, they will let you know where these are at.
Yeah.
I think in the future, we should probably, let's start, we can help our listeners out by announcing some of this stuff. If you want to go look at this stuff.
That's a great idea.
That way they can go, hey, you know what? Thank you. I found where I was at. And then you can send us some money when you make some money. Because when you're giving, I got big because they told me where that tournament was at.
So that brings up another really good thing. One of the best places to look are your local gaming centers.
Where are some of those at? Because my local gaming center is your basement on a good LAN party. Come on.
Yeah. Okay, you're right. I can't speak for outside of Utah, but I do know of 2 places in a city called Provo. I know of one in North Salt Lake, another in a city called Sandy, and I believe there's one downtown.
Now, how did you come by these?
So it's actually fascinating.
You got super excited when I asked that. You should see the look on his face. Juhadre's smiling so big.
I went on an anniversary trip. I took my wife to Florida to Harry Potter World. I love you, sweetheart. And when I was gone, a good friend of mine named Admin Anonymous said, hey, this gaming center in North Salt Lake threw a party and they said that they're going to hold a tournament. They want casters. Are you in? And I was like, yeah. And so I got to cast that. And they held the finals live at their studio with their machines available to play. And I got to do, 6 of those tournaments. I got to play with them.
How did it feel? How was it?
It was exhilarating. I'll say that.
Yeah.
It felt really good. But anyway, those leagues, that league with that gaming center was for all ranks. Just anyone who wants to play. Now,
so they had to open saying, look, if you play League of Legends, come play.
Exactly.
We don't care if you're top or bottom. Just come have fun.
Yeah. And the thing is they didn't even say you have to have a team. They said, if you don't have a team, sign up alone and we'll build you a team. Perfect. With other solo players.
You just found 4 new friends.
Exactly.
And you know what? They might build you up.
Yes.
Or tear you down if you're Big Steve.
Yes. Yikes, dude. Yikes. Anyway.
Love you, Big Steve.
So I was working with them, and then when I was asked to manage Rated R's team, I started looking into other places and other leagues that I could sign the team up to play. And that led me to the 2 down in Provo. And then I was actually talking to them to try and build our own version of what's called of the LCS, because I have connections with another place that was looking to get into the esports scene. And so I started looking everywhere, and I found these 5 different places. And in my head, I'm like, heck yeah, dude, if we can get all 5 of you to build a house team, a team completely dedicated to you instead of being CLG and TSM, Cloud9, Team Liquid, and we have to say Clutch because they made it to the World Championship. I don't like that team. And I'm going to get a lot of flame for it.
I'm not going to judge.
No, you don't, because you don't know what's going on. You don't follow that world. But, other League players, I don't support Clutch. Regardless of they're from North America or not, I don't support Clutch. Anyway, all those teams, instead of having those names, we have a team. Man, I'm really trying hard to not say these places' names because I don't know if that's like legal or not.
I don't think it's wrong to name a place.
Okay.
Because just as Eureka Fresh is he's supporting Fresca and he's not even in trouble.
All right, you know what? That's fair. So to go ahead and call these places out, you would have Team Game Tyrant. You would have Team Land King, Team No Pause, Team Gamer Planet, and I think the other.
Now these are actually places in
yes, these are these 5 places I was saying, and I think the last one is called Ascension.
Okay. Yeah. I've definitely heard of Ascension.
You've heard that one?
Yeah, I've heard of that one. Yeah.
Yeah. So if those 5, gaming centers searched the Utah area and said, we need to put 5 teams together to play in this amateur league with this other place, which I know I can't name. So we won't do that. And then just hold an open tournament and say, hey, we need 5 more teams. Get your friends, get your brothers, get your cousins, get all these people, and let's build a full league here. Get 10 teams each, and you know what? The number 1 team gets the notoriety and gets a special jersey or something. I don't know. I get what you're saying. So, just so everybody knows what I've been doing, I just got on my phone, which we promised we totally were not going to do during this. Yeah.
But I looked up just gaming centers Utah. So if you do gaming centers, whatever state or city you're in, you can find this. Look, so I just went within 20 miles of Utah. All it says is the Gamers Funk in Taylorsville.
Oh, that one's actually closed down. They just never took down their website. I've run into that one at least 3 times.
We'll take that one off the list. Next one, he's right. Gamer Planet in Sandy. Get Out Games in Salt Lake City. Salt Lake Gaming Con. Game Tyrant. You've got Shiv Games. That one looks a little sketchy.
Yeah, no joke. Shiv?
That dude's weird. No, look at that. Which is weird because it's 4.8 star. But if you just look up, like I said, gaming centers and then your state or your city, you're going to find these. Now, just remember, when you go to these gaming centers, you're not going to use your equipment. You're going to use their equipment. Because when you go to a tournament, 99.9% of these tournaments, I've only seen one, and it was a tournament for the Wii where you brought your own paddle. But they're all the same. But when you go to a gaming tournament, to make it fair, you're going to be using the same equipment as the opposing team,
right?
Because it's fair. You've got the same DPI on your mouse, the same weight on your mouse, the same buttons, the same keyboard layout, the same G keys or whatever keyboard you use. The same
refresh rate, monitor size,
exactly the same mouse pad. So that's you got the lasers catching all the grains the same way, the same chairs, the same headset. It's going to be everything. So just remember, you're going to have to adapt.
Right.
So you might like what you have, but I highly recommend getting out, spending a little extra money, going out and playing. You're going to meet new players. You're going to get in a new environment, and you're going to actually meet people, which that's one of the biggest things is get out there and play. You can play online, but you're just another face on the internet.
Exactly.
When you actually go to these centers, people have to see your face. They have to talk to you. Especially when you go by yourself, or you go, you got 2 people, that leaves you 3 new people that have to come on your team. Let's go.
I think you actually just scared away half of the players because people have to meet people, see my face, and I'm a gamer. All right.
When you said that, my thought is, and I'm sorry, please don't be mad at me, but you're going to have to leave your mother's basement.
Yikes. Okay. And now we lost the other half.
Please don't leave.
That feels so bad.
We're okay. We love you still.
So now I'm going to bring up one other point here and talk about it, because what if you're not just average? What if you're bad? What do you do at that point?
You know what? You can still go and have a good time. You might be bad, but you get with somebody say, hey, I'm looking to improve my skills.
Mm-hmm.
So go in there with that attitude. Hey, I'm not very good. Maybe this person can help me out. I can watch them play, or they can help support me and I can figure out, oh, I didn't know I could do that. That happens every time I play a new video game when we start one at a LAN party. Mm-hmm. How many times have you seen me get frustrated? I don't know what to do. I jump on, I'm like, oh, I didn't know I could do that. That's cool. Now I'm getting better because I played with other people and saw it. And because I'm in person, it's a lot harder to reject the idea of accepting help.
Yeah. I'm gonna tell you a story.
Ooh, story time.
I met some kids at my last house when I lived in another city, and we grew close. They invited me to come and watch them play flag football. Have you seen 9 to 11-year-olds play flag football?
It's pretty horrible.
It's the worst. But every once in a while, you see one kid whose dad never got a chance to go in the NFL because he broke his knee in college or something like that. And so his kid vicariously is making his dream come true. And like, they can throw the ball, they can catch the ball, they can run, they can spin, they can dive, they can jump, all these different things. And you know, it's just the same thing for baseball. It's the same thing for basketball. Same thing for soccer. Kids playing these sports, it's atrocious. But because they started out bad and got a little bit of coaching, when they get to middle school and high school, they're like, hey, you know what? I played on a team. And then they do it. And then before you know it, you're Jim or whatever his last name is playing for the LA Kings straight out of BYU. So even if you think/know you're bad, here's when you can start taking esports seriously. If you want to get better, if you want to move into the amateur scene, you have to go and find a place to play with a team, get some coaching, and improve.
I mean, that's the bottom line, is consistency.
Right.
It comes back to consistency. If you're never going to get better unless you change something.
Yeah.
Because the definition of insanity is doing the same thing over and over and expecting a different outcome.
Exactly.
So if I'm playing at home, my computer, my keyboard, my mouse, which isn't a problem, but I'm not getting any better. I'm playing with the same people. Sometimes, let me change it up. Let me go play with somebody else. Maybe somebody else communicates better.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe the environment was better.
Pick a different character.
Try a
different gun.
Different gun, different position.
Yeah.
Different. Maybe
you need to switch a different game.
I was just going to say that. Maybe you got to switch a different game. Not a lot of people want to do that because, maybe you're like, oh, I like League of Legends. But if you've tried everything, try a different game. Mm-hmm. I'm better at some games than I am others. Like right now, all my friends get really mad when I suggest playing Night Squad little game, because I'm sorry, I am super hard to defeat on that game, and you
are very good.
They get really mad.
You are very good at that game. I still enjoy it because
it's fun.
It is a lot of fun.
Just not when everybody comes after me.
That's what I wanted to say though, is you can start taking this seriously right now.
I don't care how old you are.
Exactly,
right now.
And that's what I was going to say.
You might have a difference in life and have to focus on other things like family, school, work. But you can take it seriously now and just put in the dedication.
Yeah. If anyone gives you flack for it and they're like, oh, you're going to play video games, just immediately turn it around. There are millions of dollars to be made if you can be successful. Just like in traditional sports, no one ever says that kid's wasting his time shooting free throws for 2 hours a night. No one says that. No one says he's wasting his time, bouncing a soccer ball 40 times on his toes, knees, and head. No one says that. No one says, oh, he's wasting his time running ladders and, playing football with his friend. No one says that. But the moment it comes to esports,
video games, electronics.
Yeah. Electronic sports, people start losing their mind.
It's crazy how much that happens. But when I think about it, the first game I played, first video game, I was 2.5 years old, was a puzzle game. Instantly, I had to think critically.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what a lot of people that aren't open-minded don't see is, okay, I have an obstacle in this video game. I have an obstacle in football, in basketball. I have to find a way around it. I have to get skilled enough to do it. Now, Yes, one's physical, one's not. Who cares?
I certainly don't.
A lot of people care. But me, if my son wants to play video games right now, I'm going to support him as long as it doesn't destroy his life.
Right.
Because if he wants to go that route, go for it. But, try to make something of it.
Yes.
So that you're not living in my house forever.
Yeah.
Or, you're not trying to get out there, not going to a game center. Go for it. Go make some friends doing that. That's how you're going to get good. I agree. I'm really glad we brought that up because I wish I would have done that when I was a lot younger.
You know what? I did that. That's how I met a friend whom we want to bring on the show. Or not how we met, but how we grew close together. And we'll bring that up when we have him on the show. It was that. It was exactly that. Going to a gaming center and playing the original Dota 1v1.
And look, let me bring it to you this way. If you're scared to go to a gaming center, take a step back, have a LAN party.
Yeah.
But at your LAN party, tell your friends to invite other friends.
Mm-hmm.
You have no idea how many times I have met new friends at Juhadre's basement, which is, I didn't actually know what a LAN party was. I used to have a roommate. So story time for me.
Okay.
I had a roommate.
I like it.
He tells me, he packs up his computer. Are you moving out? And I was mad. I was getting upset because I'm like, this was a good roommate.
Yeah.
He actually washed his dishes. He actually showered.
Oh my gosh.
But he was a gamer. But no, I'm just going to a LAN party and what's a LAN party? Local area network. So he just went over to a friend's house. They all plugged into the same network and they gamed. And I didn't know that was a thing. We were a console family, and I grew up with my dad saying, you don't ever plug that PlayStation 3 or Wii into the internet because that's how you get viruses. But let's not go there.
Yeah, right. I'm moving on.
And then I met Juhadre through my wife. And he invites me over. Hey, I know you don't have a PC, but I know you like gaming. Come over. So I was like, I have no idea what's going on. I don't know. A LAN party. Okay, you know what? I'm interested. Let's go. So I went, and he had an extra PC there for me because he was like, no, you're going to play. If I'm going to invite you over, I'm not going to invite you over and just not have something for you to play. And that was so much fun. The people that I knew through watching you game, I met them in person, and it was so different to see that. No, I wasn't trying to become professionally a gamer, but seeing them in person really changed my perspective of gaming. Like, look at what they did, watching them play, seeing their setup, seeing their strategies, their rituals that they do in order to play. It was amazing. And now I have my own PC. I've had it for years now. I can take it out and go play. And it's interesting when we change up our teams and when we're playing right next to each other, the whole entire game changes. It is really so much different, especially when I can smack somebody next to me. So I don't really do that, but it changes your perspective. Like, wow, I'm able to communicate better because they can hear me. I'm not micing it. I can't just get up and leave. I can't rage quit.
Right.
Which happens to the best of us. I don't know a single gamer that hasn't rage quit.
Nope. Even Juhadre here. Ask my team. They think the world of me. But yeah, I very rarely lose my cool, but I have certainly rage quit a couple times.
I mean, there's always those tough ones, but think about it. You got that person next to you who's not only coaching you on, but cheering you on. Yeah, dude, go. You got this. That like because eventually if you do get in on a team, you're going to get that captain that's behind you saying, wait, because they're going to catch stuff out of their eye that you don't see. And you're going to do the same thing for them as you're helping out your teammate. They're right next to you. Get out there, go to a gaming center, go to a LAN party. You don't have to go to a gaming center. That's why I keep bringing up LAN party. Invite some friends over and invite their friends over. Be like, let's do this. They're so much fun, but they take up a lot of room.
Yeah, they really do.
Especially when your friend brings over the 38-inch widescreen monitor.
My gosh, that we're going to talk about that when he comes on the show. It's that same friend.
Yes.
So anyway, let's wrap up here. So when should esports be taken seriously? The answer is right now.
Right now.
The answer,
get on it.
It doesn't matter who you are. It doesn't matter what level you're at. It doesn't matter what you have, because there are options outside of it. If you want to take esports as a future seriously, Now is the time.
And it doesn't even have to be I'm actually playing for the team.
Exactly.
You can support the team on the back end. Captain, manager, caster,
Analyst.
Adam Anonymous, who is Juhadre's good friend. Well, mine as well. What exactly does he do again?
He does all production, which very interesting subject, by the way. Production. We're not going to go into it today.
Well, that's another topic for another day.
Exactly.
Yeah. So to summarize it all, if you had to pick top 3 to take away from this podcast, what would it be?
Top 3 is start now.
That's start now. That's number 1.
Number 2, there are always options.
Okay.
Always options. Whether you have a good enough rig or not, you can still find a place and people to play with that will help you improve.
Especially get out there.
Yeah, get out there. And number 3, you're not alone. Think about the industry in and of itself started with people saying, I think I can earn money playing video games.
There's a thought for that everywhere.
Yeah. And just like last little anecdote here, put yourself in the 1890s or the early 1900s. You just paid thousands of dollars to go to this great school. You're getting an education. You're going to be, a scientist of some sort or a mathematician. You're going to write a book. And some big, quote unquote, dumb guy with a weird haircut shows up and you're like, hello? What are you doing here? Oh, I got all my college paid for because I know how to throw a ball through a hoop. Imagine the outrage in the scholar's mind, in their heart.
I get exactly what you're saying.
So it's just another evolution. Esports is here and it has been done and it has proven successful. You're not the first.
Mm-hmm.
It is definitely possible.
And it's not the last. It's only going to grow. With the technology we have now, it's going to grow. But
so those are the 3.
That's it. That's where it's at.
Yeah.
So the first one was, I don't even remember.
Oh shoot.
We just did this
down.
Okay.
We're so bad.
Go back and rewind this like 20 seconds, okay? Okay, but anyways, that's it for this episode. So just remember, it's start now.
Start now.
Don't give up and just start now.
Should we do the rocket ship sound again to close this?
No, he's already out there.
Yeah, he's out there.
He's out there.
Well then, we will say good night.
Yeah, good night.
Thank you once again so much for listening. Don't forget to check out the social media. All you need to do is search Rated R Esports on YouTube, Twitter, and also RatedResports.com.
You can follow us on Twitter at Alvatross17, at Juhadre, and other teams we manage at Rated R LOL.
And look forward to accounts specifically for Juhadre coming soon.